Alyssa?
Yes, sorry. The area of a rectangle is equal to the product of its length and width. Suppose a rectangle has an area of x4 times 8x cubed plus 9x squared minus 6x, and its shorter side has a length of x squared plus 2x. If x is greater than 1, for what value of x will one side of the rectangle be 25 units longer than the other side?
Okay, thank you. And we're gonna go in details. So this is, since this is a really important question, and I have seen many times in this new version of the SAT, I show all ways how to solve this problem. My request, write it down together. And what we have, first of all, they said, I use the space. Number 11, chapter 9. Chapter 9. Let me take this one out. So they give a rectangle. What is given, first of all? Given a rectangle. I make small rectangle, I need room. And they said one side, shorter side is, let's name it width, equals to x squared plus, what is it, plus 2x. And x greater than 1. And what else is given? Given that area of this rectangle equals x to the fourth plus 8x to the third minus 9x to the second and minus 6x. In addition, shorter side is longer, this length. In addition, given that length equals to the width plus 25 units. That's what is given. Okay. And they ask you to find x. Well, from first grade, step number 1. You know that area of rectangle equals to length times width. Or if I divide both by width, right, I can easily get length. So length equals area divided by width. No questions, right? But what is our area? Area equals x to the fourth plus 8x to the third minus 9x to the second and minus 6x. What is our width? X squared plus 2x equals. Well, if you see this, you can see all of them. You can factorize. Put x beyond the parentheses. So let's put x. You have x to the third plus 8x to the second minus 9x minus 6 divided by x times x plus 2. So always, if you have a chance to simplify, cancel out this x. And we get this one. So actually, what is supposed to do? You have to divide one polynomial by another polynomial. And you can have different options. For instance, we study with you long division, synthetic division. And sometimes synthetic division is much more efficient, faster. Who remembers synthetic division? 100%. Put your hands down. Who need explanation for synthetic division? Okay. Let me do this. Use all these coefficients. Let me use over there, continue. Because I need room, I can do it here. So right, first of all, you have to check all these coefficients supposed to be continuous. Is 3, 2, 1, 0. It's the same like x to the power 0. Okay. After that, I continue here. You write all these coefficients. If nothing written is 1, right? 1, 8, -9, and -6. Let's do this. Synthetic division. A very efficient way of solving many problems. So just write all these coefficients. 1, make some room. 8, make some room. Okay, only here, students, was this given. It was given plus 9x squared. Plus 9x squared. Be careful because this is important. If you put different sign, you get different result. 9 and -6. What I did, I just wrote this. Step number 1, write this coefficients. Step number 2, make this angle like this. Have some room here. And bring down 1. Bring down 1. And first of all, set the factor. Set the factor. So set the factor when x plus 2 equals to 0, minus 2 and minus 2, x equals to -2. It's like François-Viède theorem. When you divide, remember this, you did exactly the same when you write François-Viède. And you put here -2. -2. So bring down 1 and next. -2 times 1. I just write for you. Not necessarily in future. -2 times 1. It will be -2. Line up. -2. 8 plus -2 is 6. You do the same procedure over and again. Next, -2 times 6. Let me make a little bit more. -2 times 6, which is -12. I line up with the next coefficient, which is 9. Line up. 9 plus -12, it will be -3. The next, -2 times -3. 6. And keep in mind, we have the last one is -6 here. -6 plus 6 is 0. In one shot, actually, we use synthetic division and we got this set of numbers. How to interpret these numbers? Easy. Since you divide x cubed by x cubed divided by x would be x to the second power. So the first coefficient is x to the second power. Nobody write x to the second, 1x to the second. It would be x to the second or 1x to the second. Plus, and this is plus 6x. Okay. Minus 3. And this, what is it? I don't need this. This is my length. Because when I divided area by width, I get length. Easy, we use synthetic division. Now read the set, use this statement, this one. our length equals our width, which x squared plus 2x plus 25 units. Solve this equation. Minus x squared and minus x squared. Minus 2x and minus 2x. Plus 3 and plus 3. Cancel out. 4x's. Cancel out. Cancel out. Cancel out. Equals to 28. Divide by 4 both parts. X equals to 7. So again, what I did, behind the scene, they ask you to divide area, which is polynomial, by binomial. And if you have a chance, you can do without simplification. I show right now in a moment how to do this without simplification with long division. But this is a very efficient method, synthetic division. It takes easy, but takes practice. Well, actually, how it works. When you set up a factor, you find for which value this equals to 0, when x equals to -2. After that, write this coefficient, and you're supposed to do two things. Bring down the first coefficient. After that, multiply by this value each of this, and add to initial value again. -2 times 1 is -2 plus 8, 6. Now multiply this. So first of all, multiply this guy. Now this guy. -2 times 6 is -12 plus 9, -3. After that, I multiply this one. -2 times -3 is 6. Well, this one is 0. If this is 0, it means you don't have any remainder. When you start with your remainder theorem and factor theorem, what is the difference? Factor theorem, it goes from a remainder theorem. When remainder equals to 0, this is a factor. It's it. Actually, the same theorem. Who understand what I did here? I give you more example like this, and we practice together to develop this skill. But who understand right now? Ask me questions how you do synthetic division for this. Who would like to practice few examples with synthetic division right now? So after explanation, I give you small because I want to be, it's inactive. It's very helpful for SAT. Before I raise, anybody questions about synthetic division? Alyssa, how you understand this, your question? I can hear you. You understand? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Good. Let me say this is important question. I have seen it a few times on the real SAT. I will erase some of this part. I don't know this, what is given, I will leave it. And I use long division. Let me use this one. What is given, I will not write again. And long division. And you compare these two methods, right? The same, length equals to area divided by width, fourth grade. And we use long division this way. So write this number, this polynomial like a dividend. Okay. So what is it? X to the fourth. Always check if you don't have gaps. 4, 3, 2, 1, no gaps. Okay, in powers. Plus 8x to the third. Plus 9x to the second. And minus 6x. And I divide it like it was by x squared plus x. Okay, yeah, like we did in school, long division. We operate with number. This is polynomial. Also, there's few steps we have. check a number when being multiplied by, you get this one. Definitely it's x to the second. X to the second times x to the second, x to the fourth. X to the second times 2x, 2x to the third, and sign plus. Like you did along division, from this you subtract this. If you have any question, then you say, ask me. X squared minus x squared, 0. Not necessary to write this. 8 minus 2, it will be 6x to the third. Bring the second term. Think about what is supposed to multiply x squared to get 6x to the cube. Definitely 6x. 6x times x to the second, it would be 6x cubed. 6x times 2x, it would be 12x squared. When you subtract, cancel out, this is 0. And this will be negative 3x squared. And bring the next term. What number is supposed to multiply this to get negative 3x squared? Definitely negative 3. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. 0. No remainder. And what is it? This is our length. So we get the same result using long division. And after that, what is supposed to do? Plug into this formula like we did. Length, width, and find x. Okay, so actually in this example, we study all basic our methods. We practice with you after answer question. I promise to practice synthetic division with you in long division. Or maybe I do it in remainder, in this one, you have questions. Let me find this handout. Okay. Here it is. Remainder theorem. Number 1. Let me apply our knowledge for use this 3 different ways. For instance, they ask you to find remainder. Number 1. When you have 4x cubed plus 8x to the second minus 3x minus 6, and you have to divide it by x plus 2. X plus 2. So step number 1, set the remainder. When it's equals to 0. X plus 2 equals to 0. When x equals to negative 2. According to this remainder theorem, imagine this is a function of x. And you have to plug in this negative 2 instead of x. So actually f of negative 2 would be what? 4 times negative 2 to the third power plus 8 times negative 2 to the second power, negative 3 times negative 2, and minus 6. So far so good. This is 4 times negative 8 plus 8 times 4 plus 6 and minus 6. 6 minus 6 cancel out. It would be negative 32 plus 32. Cancel out, 0. So since we don't have number except of 0, so remainder is 0. And they ask you, what is remainder? Remainder is 0, the first way. So according to remainder theorem, if you plug in this value in a original fraction, you can easily find in one shot. Put your hands down if you have questions for Vina and Alisa. Just simple substitution. Who has questions? Can you say that x plus 2 is a factor or not? Raise your hand. Who can state that x plus 2 is a factor of this? Who is not sure? Put your hands down. It is a factor. Why it's factor? I give you example. For instance, pretend you're in third grade and you divide it like 20 divided by 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 0. Remainder is 0. Can we state that 5 is a factor of 20? Yes, because it goes evenly without remainder. If remainder is 0, this is a factor. Easy. Now, so far so good, students? That's how we connected a tip 22, 23, factor theorem and remainder theorem. Let's solve this problem just for practicing using two different ways. For instance, and sometimes synthetic division even faster than substitution. How to, since I set up a factor, I have x equals to negative 2 this guy, I can write it synthetic division way. Division. Write these coefficients. 4, 8, make a little room a little bit. When you have experience, you're not supposed to write it down. You're not only for practicing. Negative 3 and negative 6. Make this angle. And divisor supposed to be negative 2. So far so good. Bring down 4. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. 8 plus negative 8 is 0. Negative 2 times 0 equals to 0. Negative 3 plus 0 is negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. And you can write, since when you divide in power was the third, it decreased by 1 because you divided by x. It would be 4x squared plus 0x minus 3. Definitely you can omit this 0x. Okay. And what is good from this, you can answer the question, what is remainder? Remainder is 0. This is our remainder. Our remainder is 0. We get the second way. Beauty of synthetic division, you have to only know 2 steps, right? All these coefficients. Put divisor. Bring down this, the first coefficient, right? After that, multiply and add, multiply and add, multiply and add. So give handouts. So if you give handouts, practice with this different. Would you like to solve the same with long division? Who would like to solve the same with long division for practicing one of these? Okay, let's go with long division. Okay, I need only room. Maybe I go to the back. With long division. Okay, what we have here? All right, here 4x cubed plus 8x squared minus 3x. No, I need to erase, not enough. And minus 6. I divide the x plus 2. How to get 4x cubed? It would be 4x to the second. 4x to the second times x is 4x cubed. 4x squared to 2, it would be 8x squared. When you subtract, you get 0 here, right? Okay. Bring down negative 3x. And put here 0 because from here I don't use anything. Negative 3x minus 6. Negative 3x minus 6, you multiply this by negative 3. Negative 3x minus 6. And this is 0. So we solve this. What is 0? It means this remainder equals to 0. Okay, so this is the beauty of this exercise. Every time they give you this, and this is not difficult. Choose any number. Good idea to have all of them. Any question before I raise? Okay, few more examples. Number 2, students. First of all, we can apply a remainder theorem. Number 2, pretend we have this function, f of x, I just enhanced a little bit, right? Equals to x cubed minus 4x squared plus x and minus 4. And you have to divide this. You have to divide this function. You have to divide by x minus 3. Step number 1, set a factor. X minus 3, you can do it mentally, but x minus 3 equals to 0 plus 3, x equals to 3. This is step number 1. Now it's to find the remainder. Easy. If you remainder theorem, you're supposed to plug in this instead of x. 3 to the third minus 4 times 3 to the second plus 3 and minus 4 equals. This is 27 minus 4 times 9 plus 3 and minus 4. Or 27 minus 36 plus 3 and minus 4. So 27 plus 3 is 30. Negative 36 minus 4 is negative 40, right? Negative 40 plus 30 equals to negative 10. So my remainder, this is my remainder, negative 10. Instead of more, you just plug in numbers. Who would like to practice the same with synthetic division? Okay, let's do synthetic division. So make these coefficients 1, -4. Check first of all if we have continuous number, right? X is 1 and -4. Make room. Since I set already this factor, and this is supposed to be 3, what I'm doing next time, I will just bring down what? 1. 3 times 1 is 3. -4 plus 3 is -1. 3 times -1 is -3. 1 plus -3 is -2. 3 times -2 is -6. -6 plus -4 is -10. Look at this. The result absolutely the same. Sometimes on SAT, not so many times they ask you to represent this in forms of quotient and remainder. How to represent this quotient and remainder? I'm not sure if you see this over there, but the first, after division, this power decreased by 1 because you divide x cubed by x by x. So it means this would be x to the second minus x minus 2 minus, I need more room, 10 divided by x minus 2. And this one, we take different color. This my quotient, and this my remainder. Why I did it? Because on the test they ask you find the remainder. And this in general terms. In general terms, it's supposed to be like this. Who understand this? 100% students. 100%. Who has any questions? Well, many students ask me number 3, even more number 6. Let's do number 3 together. What we have in number 3? So many of you will take, for now, they demand from you to take nice colleges, even medium college. They ask you to get AP calculus, right?
Dr. Farber,
Yes.
there is no 6. It's 5 questions.
Okay. Yes, in number 5, 6 students.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Number 5, 6 students. I write how many students when you raise your hand. I count this, right? Number 5, 6 students. Well, what number I did it? This number, what it was? 3. Okay, let me check what I did. Yes, I did number 2, right? Number 3. In number 3, Let me use space wisely. We have 4x cubed minus 20x to the second plus 25x minus 125 divided by x minus 6. This is divide. So set up factor. So x minus 6 equals to 0, x equals to 6. You can do it now. Now, the first way how to find remainder, use remainder theorem. Pretend this is my function. This is function of x. This function to save time and space. And you have to plug in equal remainder theorem instead of x, 6. So far so good. So 4 times 6 to the third minus 20 times 6 to the second plus 25 times 6 minus 125. Now, 36 times 6, I believe it's supposed to be 216. 4 times 216 minus 20 times 36 plus 120 plus 30 plus 150 and minus 125. If you multiply this 4 times 16, 80, 64 and 864 minus 72 and 0 minus 720 plus, and this is 25. 150 minus 25. 764 minus 864 minus 720 is 144 plus 25 is 169. And this is remainder is, do we answer this? Just simple substitution. Isn't it beautiful? Who would like to solve this using synthetic division to develop skill? Okay, feel it. Let's do synthetic division, the same stuff. Okay. For instance, I already said this x equal to 6 and put this coefficient. 4, make room negative 20, 25, and minus 125. Make this angle and divide this by 6. The first step, bring down 4. 6 times 4, 24. Line up. Negative 20 plus 24 is 4. 6 times 4, 24. 25 plus 24 is 49. 6 times 49, and a little bit more room. All right, this a little bit here. If you multiply this, what do you get? You get 294. 294 minus 125 is 169. Okay. I believe long division you can calculate by yourself, but in many cases, especially when you have sometimes polynomial is pretty big. Synthetic division is faster than plugging this number because we look at this. I operate with small numbers here. Any question for this question? Question for question. Who understand this concept? Who really understand this concept? I believe at the end of the class you'll be super professional on this, right? Good. Many students ask number 4 and 5. Let me finish this package. 4 is not many. Okay, let's do number 4 first. In number 4, my suggestion, student from Europe who has different time right now, right? We have. What I'm gonna do when you practice with this video, right? You put on a pause, right? So by yourself, after that, follow my steps. So at the beginning, follow steps. After that, put on pause on the video. Do the steps by yourself and check it, okay? X cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 6. And you have to divide it by x minus 2. Everything is division here, right? So set up factor. So x minus 2 equals to 0, x equals to 2. I can do it manually right now. Imagine we have this function. This is f of x. So according to the remainder theorem, just plug in f of 2 equals 2 to the third minus 3 times 2 to the second plus 2 times 2 minus 6 equals 8. 2 to the second is 4 times 3 minus 12 plus 4 and minus 6. Okay. Look at this. 8 plus 4 is 12 minus 12. Cancel out. And remainder would be what? Negative 6. Very fast. Who would like to practice the same with synthetic division? Synthetic division. Again, write all these coefficients. 1, negative 3, 2, and my negative 6. Make this angle. Since you set up this factor x equals to 2, bring down 1. 2 times 1 equals to 2. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. 2 times negative 1, negative 2. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. 2 times 0 equals to 0. Negative 6 plus 0 is negative 6. Look at this. Absolutely always the same. And how to represent a different question in a polynomial format, like wash and remainder? Easy. Write it down. It would be, what is it? X cubed becomes x to the second. It would be x to the second minus x, right? Nobody writes 0 here. Plus 0, you can write plus 0, but it would be here, like this. And after that, minus 6 over our divisor is x minus 2. Look at this question. Any question about this? No questions. Okay. And finally, number 5. Number 5. What do we have number 5? In number 5, we have x cubed minus 16x squared plus x minus 4, and they ask you to divide it by x minus 5. Set up a factor. X minus 5 equals to 0, x equals to 5. Imagine we have a function, and this function is f of x. And this function equals to this guy. If we remain the theorem, you have to plug in instead of x, f of 5. 4 times 5 to the third minus 16 times 5 to the second plus 5 and minus 4. Well, if you multiply this, it would be 4 times 125 or 500 minus 16 times 25 and plus 5 and minus 4. 16 times 25 is 400 and plus 5 and minus 4. This is 100 and this is 1. So remainder would be what? 101. Okay. Any questions about this? Who would like to solve the same problem using synthetic division? Okay. So write these coefficients like robot. 4 minus 16 plus 1 and minus 4. Make this angle. I make a little bit more. X equals to 5. Bring down 4. 5 times 4 equals to 20. Negative 16 plus 20 is 4. 5 times 4 equals to 20. For the road here, negative 16. Not necessary to write plus 1. You can write plus 1, but by default it's plus 1. So 1 plus 20, 21. 5 times 21 is 105. 105 minus 4 is 101. Compare these answers. Always compare the answers. Okay. If they ask you to write in algebraic way, what you get what is it? 4x squared. Yes, it's x squared plus 4x plus 21 plus 101, and the divisor is x minus 5. So we did entire package. I believe you feel much more comfortable, right, students? For this remainder. A few more questions for the next question. The next package for remainder theorem. We have number 1. Number 1. So what we have here, this package remainder theorem. Number 1. We have a function f of x equals x squared plus 3x plus k. And you divide it by what? You divide it, I will show, but actually I'm supposed to write 2 times, but I just save time. Divide by x minus 3. And they ask you, they say remainder equals to 25, and k is the question mark parameter.
Dr. Farber,
Yes,
which package is this?
this package 20, I believe you have 22,
The 22?
just package tip 22.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure, check it because I have different edition. I have 23. Probably it's tip 22. Yes, tip 22.
Yeah, it is the 22. Thank you.
Tip 22. I have 20, they name it 23. Doesn't matter. I have all these editions for. And they ask you to find k. Well, like we did before, set this divisor, x minus 3 equals to 0, so x equals to 3. What is f of 3? Equals 3 to the second plus 3 times 3 and plus k equals 9 plus 9 plus k, which is 18 plus k. Okay, 18 plus k, right. And in remainder theorem, this is my remainder, and this equals to 25. How to find k? Easy. I subtract 18 from both sides, and k would be equals to what? To 7. Check. Okay, 100% students. Any questions? No question. Who understand up to this point 100% everything? So let's move to next one.
Dr. Farber?
Yes.
Oh wait, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. Nice question, nice answer. Find k, which the remainder is 0, when you have x to the third minus 5x to the second plus x plus k, and you divide this by x minus 1, and you have to find k, and remainder equals to 0. Well, set up x minus 1 equals to 0, x equals to 1. So this is f of x. F of 1, 1 to the third minus 5 times 1 plus 1 and plus k, and this equals to 0. Or 1 minus 5 plus 1 plus k equals to 0. They ask you to find k. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3 plus k equals to 0. And plus 3 plus 3, k equals to 3. Okay, any questions for remainder theorem? I believe for now you're super expert in this, right? Very similar, and derivative from this is the effective theorem. What is in common? Effective theorem, remainder equals to 0. And let me see questions you ask. You ask questions for number 3, for instance. It's so not number 3, it's 3T. Number 1. 3 students. Number 1. X minus 3 is a factor. If x minus 3 is a factor, you can instantly find that x minus 3 set up this x equal to 3. Of equation of what? Of x cubed minus 4x plus k. Imagine this f of x, and this is factor. So it means remainder equals to 0. Plug in this thing. Minus 4 times 3 plus k, or 27 minus 12 plus k, and this equals to 0. So this is 15, minus 15 and minus 15, you get k equals to negative 15. Pretty much we're doing the same stuff, only remainder theorem in general term, in factor, remainder equals to 0. Any questions for this? Alexander, you have raising hand, you have questions? Alexander. Daniel, you have questions?
No, I just accidentally left the hand up.
No problem, just put it down. Again, don't be shy asking questions. Okay, let me see where else you have questions. Many students ask me number. Let me start 7, and after that I return to this one, or probably for which one?
Farber,
Yes.
can you please go over number 4 too, please?
Okay, let's go for number 4. Number 4. In number 4, what we have? Number 4. We have a function g of x equals to, what is it, x to the third plus ax plus b is divisible. I write whatever is written, divisible by what? By x minus 1 times x minus 2. What is value of h? H, fine. A is a question mark. Also, like we did before, we set up this our divisor to 0 when it's equals to 0, either when x equals to 1 or x equals to 2, if you make it 0, right? Any questions so far? Okay, no questions. So, like we did before, g of 1 equals 1 to the third plus h times 1 and plus b, or 1 plus a and plus b. And they said this is a factor, right? If divisible, it means remainder equals to 0. But we have the second rule, g of 2. You know what? To save time and space, I write over there. Why? Because if we have a system of equations. So, for instance, g of 2, I write over there. G of 2 equals 2 to the third, plug in here, plus 2a and plus b, which is 8 plus 2a and plus b. And now I write it line up straight over there. All line up. 8 plus 2a and plus b. It's also equals to 0 because factor theorem and they factors, right? And this is system of equations. So far, so good. Now, how to find a? Easy. 1 minus 8 is negative 7. A minus 2a is negative 8. B minus b cancel out equals to 0. How to find a? Plus a and plus a. I've got negative 7 equals to 8. That's what value of a we have? Negative 7. So doesn't matter what they give you. Use exactly the same approach. And after you get system of equation, you start the system of equation in 7th grade, right? Not complicated. Who understand this topic 100% right now? 100. If I give any question right now, for instance, ask you to solve using synthetic, who will solve it? Okay, let me check. I put this aside, put this aside, put this aside, everything aside. Okay. Want to get easy or medium? Who would like to get medium? Okay, okay, give you medium. I have tons of them for this. Mhm. Okay, here it is. It's from a real test. Let's say you have this one. 3x to the fourth maybe a little bit easy. A little bit easy at the beginning. For instance, 7x to the third plus 6x minus 8, and you divide it by x minus 4. Okay. Find the, okay, use synthetic division. Synthetic division. And give me a remainder based on synthetic division and type here in control panel. By the way, you finish, you can check it using a long division the same way. So synthetic and long division.
May I solve this using remainder theorem?
This is too easy. I want to see. Definitely you can solve it. You can solve 3 different ways. But for me, very important to use synthetic because it helps you later in pre-calc and calc. Definitely you can solve it.
Do you just want us to send you the remainder?
Just remainder, but using synthetic division. You can use 3 different ways. If you need, for me, not only answer, for me, many students already give me the answer. But I suspect that you use remainder theorem. Try to check your step. Okay, good. Everyone who sent me get A+. Beautiful. Everybody. But question for you, put your hands down, Daniel and Islam. Who use synthetic division theorem? Who use synthetic division? Excellent. Put your hands down. Who check using long division? Okay, good. Excellent. Almost everybody. Dmitry, make some correction here. And who need help for synthetic division for this? So if you remember, if you notice at the beginning of lecture, I said that number is supposed to be continuous here, right? For instance, I have x cubed and x to the first actually. I miss something, right? I'll write this. It's the same like 7x cubed plus 0x to the second plus 6x minus 8. Fill this gap. After that, write these numbers. Set up this factor. X equals to 4. And write this coefficient 7, 0, 6, negative 8. Make this angle, put 4, bring down 7. So far so good. 4 times 7, 28. 0 plus 28, 28. 4 times 28, 80 plus 32, 112. 112 plus 6, 118. 4 times 118 equals to, what do we have? 472. And minus 8 here. Why not? And you get 464.
Farber,
Yes,
would you also use remainder theorem to check your work?
sure. Let's do remainder theorem. Remainder. 7 times 4 to the third plus 6 times 4 minus 8 equals 4 to the third, 64. 7 times 64 plus 24 and minus 8. Okay, if you multiply this, what do you have? Help me. 420 plus 24, 444. 444 plus 28 is 468. 468 minus 8, 464. Moreover, you have beautiful tools for everything, and you can practice with this. I give the last question for now. Try to solve it. Don't forget to check for gaps, because in SAT they deliberately make some gaps. Gaps means like cars supposed to go from in ascending order. Let's say 7 power 6, 5, etc. up to 1, up to 0 actually. The last one for checking for today, for this one. This one, let me find this name. Be careful, students. I need synthetic division because plug-in, actually this operation is very helpful, but you can plug in even in what grade? In 5th grade, right? Plug-in numbers. I need to know if you know advanced technology. You can use using, on the test, definitely use remainder theorem, it's faster. But in many questions to get result of this polynomial, you have to use either long division or synthetic division. Look at this. The last for about this stuff, 3x to the fourth minus 5x to the second plus 6, and you divide by x minus 2. Good luck. Use 3 different ways. Remainder theorem, synthetic division, long division. All numbers are supposed to be the same, right? Good luck. And find remainder. All these remainder supposed to be the same. Plus, students, in your notebook, try to find general way of this equation that you got here. Algebraic form. Okay. So many of you did correctly. Absolutely great. Good. Good. More students, 11 students got correctly. Put this FA plus. More students, please. Good. Good. Nobody make mistakes so far. Excellent. Alexander make corrections. Dmitry make corrections. If you solve 3 different ways, the answer must be the same. The rest of you put A plus, ice cream, smiley face. Excellent. Many of my students, they get perfect score, perfect. Either 2400 when it was, or 1600. And now next test would be what? Digital. In digital is crucial. You can do it very fast, any different ways. A lot of everybody who sent right now, except where I said my corrections, get a plus smiley face. Okay. Who need help for this with synthetic division? Who need help for this example with, don't be shy, just remainder theorem. Remainder theorem, sir. And who need help with long division? Only question about synthetic. Let's do it together with you. Look at that. First of all, normalize, right? What we have. Write it down this way. 3x to the fourth plus 0x to the third minus 5x to the second plus 0 times x and plus 6. Right? It's like train, right? You see train station, and it goes like this. All cars go smaller, smaller, smaller. There is no break in cars. So it's 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here, imagine this is x to the power 0. It goes exactly like a train. When you did like this, set up this fragment. x minus 2 equals to 0, x equals to 2. Write this all coefficients here. 3, 0, negative 5, 0, and 6. Make an angle. Put here 2. Bring down 3. 2 times 3, 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. 2 times 6, 12. 12 minus 5, 7. Add them up. 7. 2 times 7, 14. 0 plus 14, 14. 2 times 14, 28. 28. 28 plus 6, 34. Like piece of cake. Okay. If they ask you to find the remainder general term, it will be what? 34 divided by divisor by x minus 2. This is my remainder. Okay. Who feel like you become expert today in 3 different methods? Expert. My suggestion at home, practice more with this. Develop this skill automatically. When I solve this problem, I think about not even about this, right? You're supposed to do it semi-automatically. Now, students, some of you asking about break for 2 minutes. You can go to bathroom. After that, come back and raise your hand. We continue. We continue going through. Probably use a screen to for scatter plots. Go to bathroom, come back, raise your hand. Okay. Been waiting for you. When you come back, raise your hand. Only 40% of the group came back. Raise your hand, and we continue. Okay. 60% of the group. Okay, students. Raise your hand who came back. Danielle, Evelyn, Islam, Mubina, Daniel S. So be more active, students. I can explain you more in this case. So the next part, I'm gonna go to scatter plot. Very important topic. It's like introduction to statistics, and everywhere they have on the test. And this usually test question, not complicated. And since there are a lot of graphs here, probably I'm gonna go through my screen. In this case, we cover more. Otherwise, I'm supposed to write everything on the whiteboard, right? And we already have it. We start some questions, and you continue this. I just show how to solve these questions together with you. Okay, for scatter plots.